the Revolve, Sweep, and Fillet tools to make a 3D model of this hanging weight in this multi-view drawing. Let's start with a new drawing. Make sure you're in Models from Multi-View Drawings project. I'm going to go ahead and hit Save and call this Modeling with Revolve, Sweep, and Fillet. You can give it whatever name you'd like. If your origin's not on, let's go ahead and turn that on. We're going to start by creating a sketch. So we're going to make this in a couple different parts here. We're going to start with our vertical plane. So let's create a sketch on the vertical plane. Down here in the bottom right, I have a drawing of what it is we want to make. So we're going to make the profile of this, and then we're going to sweep it around the y-axis or the vertical axis. So to start with, I'm going to create some lines, and I'm actually going to take a look at my drawing on the right, and I'm going to create a series of short lines at the distances that are measured here. So I'm going to start with one that is 10 units tall. And the first thing you'll notice, I'm going to go ahead and hit escape actually. This is in millimeters. So I'm going to go to document settings. And today I'm going to be in millimeters. And I may not set that as default because I like centimeters more. But this one's in millimeters. So I'm going to go ahead and make a line vertically 10 millimeters. And then I'm going to make a second one. This one's going to be 20 millimeters. I'm just looking at my image here on the right. Then there's 17 millimeters. The next one is 13. And now my next one is 15 millimeters to the center point of this arc up here, but that's actually a construction line. So right before I draw, I'm going to open up my sketch palette here, and I'm going to choose line type construction. I'm going to drag that up 25 millimeters. And you'll notice that last one is a dash line. And that means it's not actually going to become an object. I'm also going to now work on my horizontal plane. So it looks like I need a little bitty piece here that's 4 millimeters tall. I'm going to do one more construction line, 4 millimeters tall. And now let's look at the width. What I care about here is the radius from the center to the outside edge. And in order to figure that out, I'm going to have to go to my top view up here. And I see that my outer diameter is 70 millimeters. And that's the little diameter 70 symbol. And then my inner diameter is 50 millimeters. So half of 70 is 35. And so if I want to make this thing, I need to make it from the radius. So I'm going to create a line, turn off construction, and make a line that goes out 35 millimeters. And now I'm going to look at my image, and I'm just going to start drawing upwards what I need. Looks like I need to come up 4 millimeters, hit enter. All right, now I need to bring this in, and I'm not exactly sure where to put it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to create a construction line. This is sort of like if you were sketching. I'm going to come up to the 10 millimeter mark, and I'm going to come over 25 millimeters here. And I'm going to create this construction line, and that's not actually part of the model. That's just there to give me some dots to connect here. So I can bring this up to there. Now it looks like I need to come up 20 millimeters. Type in 20 millimeters. And from there, I need to actually rock back out to the edge. So to figure that out, I'm going to come up to this point up here, turn on construction, draw me a construction line that goes out 35 millimeters, turn construction back off, connect the dots. There's that. Now I need to come up to the top of this. Looks like I can just come up my 13 millimeters, bring it in, close it off. Then I'm going to hit finish. And now what you see is this sketch. My construction lines are still there. I've got this nice point up here that I'll use later. I'm going to click on this. And then instead of extruding, I'm going to use the button next to it, which is Revolve. And I'm just going to reach in here and grab the vertical axis. And it will automatically bring this 360 degrees around and create a new body. And click OK. And so here's the core of what I'm making. You'll notice that it has a rounded edge. So why don't we go ahead and make a rounded edge here. I'm just going to grab this uppermost edge. I'm going to click on it. Then I'm going to drag this tool called the Fillet. It looks like Fillet, but people pronounce it Fillet. I'm going to click on that. And I see right here it says R2. That is a 2mm fillet. And I'm gonna hit OK. And that gives me a nice little rounded edge up there at the top. And thus far, this looks exactly like my model. I'm gonna hit the home button to get back where I started, turn on my origin to make sure I'm oriented, and now I'm gonna make this shape up here on top. In order to do that, I'm gonna do two things. First thing I'm gonna do is create a sketch that's gonna tell me what is my profile going to look like. So when I look here, this says diameter 8. It's a little circle with an 8 on it. So this little loop that we're gonna hang from has a diameter of 8mm. So first I'm gonna create a sketch on the top. I'm gonna go right into the middle. I'm gonna create a circle with a diameter of 8mm. And that's that. That's gonna be extruded up or swept up later using our sweep tool. Go ahead and finish on that. Now I'm gonna create one more sketch, and this one's going to be the profile for this little loop-de-loop. I'm gonna select my vertical plane. There it is. And I'm just gonna leave my body turned on. I actually wanna come in here and turn my sketches back on. So on the left side, make sure your sketches are on so you can see that construction line from earlier. And now I'm gonna create a couple different things. First, I'm gonna create a center diameter circle, and I'm gonna make that a construction circle. I look up here and I see R15. That means that the radius of curvature, or the radius of this circular hook up here, is 15. So when I click here, I'm gonna create a circle with diameter 30. And so there's a circle of diameter 30. I also see right here that I need to create something with a 15-degree angle right here. So I'm going to create a line. I'm going to create this put this little dot right here. It'll still be a construction line. I'm going to come out 15mm, and then I'm going to hit Tab. And I actually want to bring this down 15 degrees. So that's 180 is horizontal. Then as I come down, that's going negative. So I need to get down to 165. I'm going to type that in, and I'm going to press Enter. All right, and so now I have a nice line to 165. I've got a nice arc to go around. I've got a nice starting line. Now I'm going to turn off construction lines, and I'm going to create spline, control point spline. I'm going to start down here at the bottom, and I'm going to use some control points to come up, and I'm going to create myself a nice little curve, and then I'm going to connect to this circle, and I'm just going to click all along the circle. It's your choice how often to click. This should automatically snap to the circle as you go around. Going around, going around. And I'll double click when I'm done. I'm gonna say finish sketch. So now I've created the shape for this. And now this is really cool. Create, we're gonna create a sweep right here. Sweep's a sketch profile along a path. Sweep. So we'll start with the profile, which is this 8mm circle. And then for the path, I'm going to select this cool path that I just made, and automatically it creates my little loop here for me. It's beautiful. And that's it. I have created this shape. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Okay. And I'm going to do design, drawing from design. Leave all this. This time my millimeters are my happy units. I'm going to click OK. We're going to wait for that to load up. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to choose the orientation right this time, because that will make it look a little more like the drawing up there. I'm going to click. I'm going to change my scale to 1:1, and I'm going to turn on my tangent edges this time. I'm going to say OK. There's that. Go up to projected view. Because Fusion's weird, I'm going to have to actually drag around to look for which projection I'm looking for. This isn't working right. Projected view. Let's see here. Oh, that's right. We're going to go down. We're going to go to the left. Then I like to go to the bottom left. Hit enter. And drag them to where I want them. Nope, that was the wrong piece. There, I'm gonna put that all the way up there. Put this right here. How about that? Zoom in on my little friend here, and let's make some dimensions. Zoom all the way in. There's my first dimension, second dimension, third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, and sixth dimension. So that's enough there. Not as beautiful as it was in this image. I could have done a prettier job. I'm gonna go ahead and get that diameter here, but then I'm also going to do it up here. So with that tool, grab my outermost diameter. And that's that cool little circle with a slash through it. That means diameter of the circle. There's both of those. And then the last thing is to create the diameter of my hook. And then why don't we add some angles here, just because that's what we do. Go to dimensions, angular dimension. And I'm gonna click these two, 150 degrees, close enough. Here's another one, 120 degrees. All right, and I'm gonna zoom out. I wanna label these. Let's say front, top, right, or just side. And then the last one is isometric. Hit save. And when you're happy with this, hit the export button, export it as a PDF, and turn it into Google Classroom.